What is up? So how did I get this so realistic? What I did was I actually, after completing it to how I completed it near the end of the video, so make sure you have your zombie looking that good. So watch through this. Then I placed a spear tool right here. What it did was that it replaced all that with this, and it made it look 1,000 times better. 1,000 times better. So just watch this video, copy that step, and with these teeth right here, I used the triangle tool, and then I covered it with the circle tool on blend settings. So you'll want that circle that I showed you right here to be on blend settings. You want to click right here, click this, turn it up to probably max blend, and when you're working on the teeth, just put them down with no blend settings, then choose the spear, then put the spear on full blend settings, downsize the spear, and cover the teeth like that. And that's how I did that. I think I covered the nose, and I covered how you can look down like this to see if things are even. And in real life, you don't want everything even because there's nothing perfect with the human body in real life. But this is how you make zombie heads. I'll have the how to make zombie bodies soon. Zombie bodies soon. Making a dead person's body is a little bit different than making a realistic sculpture's body, but I do have the realistic sculpt tutorial on my channel. Right here, I also made cuts that are the triangle tool, or not the triangle, the rectangle, the square tool. And what I did was I put it on blend settings, and I cut blended, as you could see the lines right there. I cut blended along the side like that, and I also probably did it somewhere up here also. I may have did it right here, and then I did it on this side, and that helped me to find whenever I cut blended. I had it of course on the blend settings, and then I also did stuff like this, made sure the eye bags were right here, and we're just basically trying to make a skeleton. So without further ado, I hope this tutorial helps, and you can just keep working at it, and it'll get more realistic from this point forward, this point forward, this point forward. What is up? This is my Dreams PS4 tutorial on how to sculpt zombie heads. Now, I've made tutorials on how to sculpt realistic bodies. I am now working on the tutorial for realistic body for a zombie. It's a different body structure. I'll have that out soon. Right now, I just want to focus on the head because I know a lot of people are probably interested in how to make gruesome creatures, frightening looking creatures, mainly the face, since that's the hardest thing to actually do for a creature that's supposed to be frightening in Dreams PS4. You can make it more realistic, but to get the structure down, to get the foundation down, you just need to know some key things. So here's my second sculpt, my second attempt at this, and it's a lot more smooth than this one, but this one's got more shading, so it turned out really good. But I like this one because, as you can see, it's just more smooth, and it just isn't as rough. So what I did is I just pulled out the blue thing, left it blue, then I chose the color red. For some reason, it's easier for me to sculpt zombies whenever I'm using maybe a light red or something that's red. So think Crimson Head from Resident Evil. Next, what you want to do is realize that you're actually sculpting a skull. That's what you're doing when you're sculpting zombies. As you see with zombies, a lot of them look like they haven't eaten. You'll notice that their face, you can see bones sort of protruding in crucial areas. That means the eyes are deeper within the head. More like the skull's eye is actually, or the eye circle, the eye socket, sort of, it's the circle around the eye, not the eye itself. The eye itself is actually deeper within there. It's deeper within there just because of that, since it's like sculpting a skull. Then we have a nose right here. Now you can do more with this. Like I said, you can define it more. But this right here is for the basic foundation, and I'm gonna use the undo tool to show you guys how I did this right here. Now you can make it more, do more with it by just looking up a zombie picture and sculpting in some finer details and stuff like that. You are happy to do more with it. But I hope this helps you guys out for the Halloween edition of Dreams, whenever more dream stuff like that happens, because there is stuff like, you know, community jams and stuff that you can join. So right here I want you guys to also notice that I have this body part. It's kind of like the bone kind of sticking out right here. I have the nose sticking out right here. There is a forehead, very important. You want there to be some sort of forehead and some sort of crease right here. Then you want to have it to where the head is like this. The head is like this, jaw drips down. You want to make this. Then for the teeth, after cutting inside of it, after cutting inside up here, and using the circle tool right here, then using the circle tool right here to define the nose, that's important. That'll actually make it look better. And after you made this circle inside of the mouth, then what you'll want to do is use the circle tool, change the color to white, and this will work as our teeth. Now again, you can define teeth as much as you want, but this right here is just to get you guys going on the basic foundation of how you can make a zombie structure. And it doesn't take that many steps. We're going to go ahead and press the undo tool on how I did this. Let's get it. So we are moving the eyes around. You'll notice that it actually started out this big and then I sized it down. It was just easier for me to do it like that, so that's what I did. The eyes, the head. So I'm going to rapidly press undo. As you can see, I'm defining the where the eye, not the eye sockets, where the sinus cavities are. I was defining that with just the circle tool. Can be defined a little bit more. I can put the eyes in better places. And as you can see, the nose, it was just the circle tool and the circle tool right there. That's all it was. This was just the circle tool. Then for the forehead, put that crease right there and one probably around right here, as you can see, so that way it's protruding outward, since zombies haven't eaten in so long in their famine body. The nose started out like this. The eyes just started out with circles inside of them. Circles to get this. I did not use the mirror tool. The mirror tool is good, but for some things it does make it harder. So we had the protrusion going out. Let's get to the basic shape, how I started. Not that many steps. Just using the circle tool. Let's get to how it started in the beginning. It's gruesome like this, isn't it? How did we start in the beginning? Was it this hard? Does this look hard? So it started something like this. I placed one circle tool right there, just to get it bigger. Then I started placing the eyes. And no, eyes don't have to be perfect. Like if you look at your hands, nothing is perfect on the human body. It's actually more realistic to have imperfections for your body. Then I started working on the nose. Got a little poke out right there. Then I put the jaw right there. Then we put it right there. Then we cut inside. Then we made the head bigger. Then we added our jaw, as you can see with this one over here. Then we added our jaw on the other side. Let me guess, circle in the mouth. Let's keep going. Another circle in the mouth, looking like amnesia. Drop the jaw down, added a circle right there. Added another circle in the mouth. Homie's hungry. Put something right here for the lip. Another thing right there for the lip. And also, I made sure that this part right here was connected. All that was connected. No holes. Drop down to make the jaw more, or the teeth, so I could like add teeth in here. That's why I was doing that. And I probably covered up that hole after I messed with the nose. I decided to pop out the nose a little bit. Made the nose connect more with the forehead. Cut to where the nose is close to the eyes on both sides. Raised it up, added another circle to raise it up. Cut inside, cut inside. Started finally fixing that broken jaw. Got it patched up. Now we're adding the thing that is very crucial, the bone protrusion outside of the eye. Made it bigger. Added one more. Started work on the other side. Made it bigger on the other side. Connected it to the top part. Now that's important. That's actually really important. It's really important to do that. Made the eye bigger. Also made the eye bigger on the side. Started making things smaller. Started adding teeth. Changed the color. Started adding teeth. Starting to look like a ghost a little bit. Started defining the teeth. Started adding eyes. Started adding that protrusion on the top. Started finally giving them a brain. Started finally making the forehead, very important. Started finally defining the protrusion. Smoothing out the protrusion. Finally getting our forehead in there. Smoothened out the side of the jaw, making it smaller. Protrusion right here, sorry. Now we're working on the jaw, connecting it. Now I started actually working inside of the eye, because you got to have the eyes really deep. So I had to do some patchwork. Started making things deeper in here so there's more shadows, making it just look better whenever you scoot away if you're looking at it from afar. Connected more of the jaw so that way it looks more like that. Started defining it, making it smoother. Cut around right here, that's important. Now I think this is where I started working on the nose. This is what makes everything look better. This part right here. I did this with the circle tool. Most important stuff when it comes to making this look the way you're probably wanting to make it look after you've done everything. Started making it look even. Starting getting rid of that Michael Jackson. Started deepening down the protrusions of the bones right here. As you can see, if we undo it, deepen that down. Opened up the mouth a little. Cut inside. Made it bigger. Deepened it down a little bit more to where there's more depth on the upper part right here. So where you can see the bends. Then we started working on the inside envelopes where the nose skin connects to the eye. Then I started patching up the brain. Homie was a little bit too smart. Started putting in real eyes. And this is how we got this far. This is how we got this far. So from here you can just smoothen everything out. And what you want to do is use the blend tool after going into stamp mode. You can press the touchpad whenever you are sculpting to then select the color of the original scape. And it wouldn't be too hard to actually make this look better. As you can see, it's not too difficult from here on out to make it look as good as you want to make it. If you want to make it look realistic, you can. It is not that hard from this part out. It's just hard figuring out how to get this far in. Once you're this far in, you can just keep on developing, and the more you develop it, the more realistic it is going to look. Again, with the teeth, if you want like actual looking teeth, you can just make the actual looking teeth. This right here is just to get the body figured down for your zombie to where you'll know what to do, to where you can get to those steps and just define everything and whatnot. Adding a tongue will be pretty simple if you guys are wanting to do that. As you can see, it's not too difficult. Not too difficult. And you might not want the nose to be too poignant. I don't know. Just making up words now. And don't be afraid to use the undo tool. It is your best friend. Right now I'm just like freestyling it. Oops. And the reason we did all that was just to be able to add holes. Now for a real, well no, yeah, it would look like this for a real zombie. It would. For a skeleton, it wouldn't look like that. Like if you were trying to make this a skeleton, it would not look like that. Skeleton noses are just a tad bit different. You kind of want like that circle pop thing right here. It's the whole reason why we did this. But you don't want it to be too big, but you can also just size it down or scoot it closer if you do make it too big. And the eyes are definitely too big. You do not want these things huge for zombies. You want them as far back as possible, but you also want them to be visible in light. You want them to be as even as possible, which is the hard part. That'll work. Nose. Sometimes it's good to look from the top down because you can see exactly where you need to go, as opposed to looking at it from the top, you know, the front. So I know exactly which cuts I need to make. I need to make it to where there's more of a defined bump. Then I need to smoothen that out. Do this. Something like this. Yeah. Then you just gotta make it smaller. And for noses, you definitely want it to be like something like that. And then if you want to make them like, you know, detail it more, like give it wrinkles, you gotta get up close and do stuff like this. But you don't want to like mess it up, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you want your cuts to be thin, something more like this, because I know zombies have wrinkles. They gotta be really thin. And then you want them to be bigger and to get bigger as time goes on, as you can see, something like that. But you don't want it to look like a mess, so you'll be like doing what I'm doing here until you get it right. That's a lot better. Then you'll notice like the areas that are way too thick. You'll start noticing like what you need to fix. You'll have to figure out what sides are too thick, because it might not be too thick in here. This might be good. And the reason it's starting to look too thick is because something else is starting to look realistic, which is the nose, which starts throwing everything off, you know what I'm saying? But as it's throwing it off, it's also making you make it look better. Because if something's getting thrown off because something else looks better, that means you have to fix the other things until everything starts looking perfect. And that's essentially my method of doing a lot of these sculptures. But it's usually it's the fact that something's too big. It looks like there needs to be more of a protrusion right here. It's good to remember this back part of the skull needs to be visible just slightly over this front part right here. And then there has to be a protrusion right here on both sides. And that allowed me to see what was looking way too freaking big. Now the mouth, I have to figure out how I want to do this. It's a tricky area, mainly because I put the tongue in there. It's something I'll have to patch up later, but I definitely want that to be covered. But nobody's really going to notice what's in there. And with zombies, you can also, like, everything doesn't have to be even. In fact, I'd recommend not making things as even. I would recommend making it look as much like a skull as possible. Some more to that back area. And this is probably what it probably needs to be done, something like that. Something like that. Something needs to be poking out, maybe right here. Yeah. So as you can see, it's not difficult. After you get the base structure down, just define it until you've made it look perfect in your eyes. And then look at zombie photos to where you can get it as realistic as you need. And again, to add more depth, you can do stuff like this. You can do small little tricks, but make sure it doesn't ruin the thing, you know what I'm saying? And also you can change colors and blend with other colors. I think I need to do something like this to where this right here connects. If we're going to do that, we definitely have to define it. But yeah, I'm going to start looking at another picture of a zombie and getting this perfect. So this one looks really good. This one looks really good. It looks more polished, you know what I'm saying? Like it could be more, you know. And this one just looks like a Nintendo 64 zombie, like straight up. So that's how I do it. And I'll have the body tutorial as soon as I get the head done. Like as you can see, this one looks Nintendo 64. This one looks real, like from a distance. I swear I've seen this thing before. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Dreams on Young Text YouTube on Dreams, Young Text on YouTube, and Young Text on Twitch. Follow me there. I have the body tutorial. Just check out my realistic sculpture body tutorial. I got to figure out how to sculpt dead bodies. Forgive me if I don't know how to sculpt dead bodies. Well, we'll get it. We'll get it, guys. We got this far. Hi, I'm making this segment of the tutorial just so you guys know that I am making the body tutorial. The body, I just use the circle tool, and then it's just making a rib cage and making sure that the neck area has sort of, whenever you're sculpting on the body, make this kind of abrasion right here. So you'll press X like that, but you'll do it on your first sculpt. If I did it again, then it'd be 2 circles right there. You only want 1 for the most part. Then right here, you'll just circle tool some rib cages, and you'll want it to sort of make a dip like this. This is sort of what the body looks like. Then the stomach area, it's this right here. So you'll put that in there. Make sure it's like a in right here where the rib cage is, so that way the belly is exposed. Then you'll kind of want to have the belly looking like this right here, around there, and you can cover it up with the upper part of the body where the ribs are. The back, just do it like a normal back, and smoothen it out, and then put your spine indentation right here like I'm doing, so it look more like this on the side. And you're basically making it a skeleton. That's what a zombie is, just a skeleton. To put it simply, you're just making a skeleton. Can't forget the femur. I'm starting to remember what this thing looks like. I didn't look at anything to make this, so you guys get an idea. I'm just like doing it as I go. You'll kind of want this part to be kind of like this, because you don't want the bone to expose while it's walking, so you'll have to mess with this area. This area is actually a really tricky area, because you can't have it looking funny, but it has to be just right. And that's how you make a skeleton. The feet, you'll notice that the feet and the hands are skinny. Thickest parts up here, then as it gets down it gets skinnier. Make it more like a bone. Then as it gets down from here, it's thick in the middle, gets skinny right there. Then you can make your hands and do that. And the same with the hands as with the feet. Really simple. You're just making it really bony, a really bony structure. And I can do a little bit better with the things right here, the shoulders. You want the shoulder top part sticking out to where it kind of connects with the hand. Right now I'm trying to, you'll probably want it more like this. So that way you can do this, something like this, you know what I'm saying? And then you'll have the hand connect into that as smooth as possible. Then you'll kind of want to make an armpit area like this. And then you can make the ribs smaller if you want to make it hyper realistic. This is sort of what you would do. And then you'll want to make sure that this part's in here, this line. You'll want to add a couple of these. I only added 2. Now that I'm making it smaller, I'll add another one. And as you can see, it's really simple to make a zombie. Just think of it making a skeleton throughout the whole thing. And you got your chest area. It'll look something like this. You'll, like I was saying before, press it. You might want to do this and then dip it down again. But you don't want that to be exposed. And the pelvis right here is like, as you can see, it was a very hard area for me. But you want it to look like a pelvis, skeleton pelvis. Then you should have it. I didn't do the feet, so I did the hands. So hope this helps. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me in dreams. Peace out.